a few problems with the emulator, but oh yeah, interesting thing about Pius that I noticed: no sanity effect on him. So is he completely insane from the beginning, or does he just have nerves of steel? Anyways. Okay. Yes, if anyone, knows, or if anyone actually ends up watching this and thinking about it, if there's anywhere in the game or extended lore that actually says where, or who this was built by and when, I would love to know, because I have no idea who built this temple, and it would be nice to find out. Something that would be, especially cool about this game to me, though, would be, if you were allowed to play through, like, a second or third time, but you could make choices at different parts of the game that affected, how it turned out. Like, right here, if I, knew about the relationship of the, ancients, if I could, place each block in its subservient, dais on the wall, if I could do that and basically prevent this from ever happening, it'd be interesting, to see the game's interpretation of how history would have played out. How, all the ancients probably would have had to work together to, bring themselves into the world. And, yeah. Anyways. Mantarok zombies. I feel bad for them, but only occasionally. Now here comes the interesting part of the, series so far, because I think the button that opens inventory was shifted somehow when, I, was setting this up. And so I don't actually know what button opens inventory. Oh. Shift? Right shift? Well, there we go. I was just randomly hitting buttons when talking about that. But, anyways. So, we all know the drill here. And, yeah. Is that actually how magic is spelled? With a K like that? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. This is, definitely a game that relies on its atmosphere, obviously. Just, looking at this entire room, it's just drenched in scenery. Yeah. I'll just wait for this animation to play out and I'll keep talking. That's some pretty speedy, door opening technology for, such a ancient temple. So, anyways, yeah. The things about this game that I like, I think I'll go back to that topic. Mostly everything. Yeah, the music in this game is definitely one of my favorite, just in basically every way. Huh. It's funny now looking back at it, but if you look at the dial, or whatever you would call that, above the, in the sort of the center of the archway. Yeah, showing some wear and tear there, from the technology of the time, but it doesn't matter, this is great. Also, another thing, did you, see how when I exited that corridor, you could see a painting of the previous hallway. It's just stuff like that that just makes this game sort of hilarious at times. But, you know, they tried, and or maybe they didn't. Maybe they're just lazy and that was their easy solution. I always wanted to revisit this room to see how it changed. Or maybe I just have a very poor grasp of architecture, and this is how you escape from the Forgotten City at the end of, oh god, the Canadian Fireman's mission. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, Canadian Fireman. Yeah. Ooh, nearly crashed there for a second. I think I did play this game through before on this system, but I guess the data must have been wiped. I don't remember how the path you choose affects getting whatever regenerative spell you get at first. I think, if I remember correctly, Ulyaoth gives you health back, but I'm basically going to go for the hardest run that I can, and I'm going to go with Chattur'gha. But yeah, I say it's going to be the hardest because anyone who doesn't know how to fight according to my playthrough rules is going to have a heck of a time cutting apart Chattur'gha zombies. Thinking about it, this is a very time-efficient way to turn into a lich. Like, in classic D&D, you have to spend, like, dozens of years underground performing spells and incantations to turn into a lich, but in this game it's just, nope, touch an artifact, you're a lich.
Eons have passed since then, and I have learned much. Chattur'gha's power filled me, invigorating my dead body. With a touch, I could level buildings, rend the ground asunder, and channel power such as mortal men could only dream. Face me, and you shall surely perish.
Another thing, though, about those artifacts, if you ever play this game for yourself and you choose the Xel'lotath pathway. Oh yeah, by the way, a quirk of the emulator I'm using, or glitch, I guess you should call it, is that certain objects will disappear. So I get sanity effects for free. Yay! But in this chapter, if you choose the Xel'lotath artifact, he says, I could read minds effortlessly, or something to that effect. And so she's just waltzing around with the heart of Mantarok inside her. And I don't know, maybe it's the reason why she was able to resist him. But whenever you go into and he says, I could read minds, and she just ignores that, he's a pretty crappy Lich King.
I have discovered that sometimes the fates of gods and mortals intertwine, and legends are born.
Thy time is done, great ancient. Forever in shadow will you be master of chaos, and to fade to nothing in obscurity will be thy fate. My master has planned many millennia for this day. It is the true chaos of all things that you now must be entombed amongst
I'll say what I was going to say in a second.
You have a great monument here, Mantarok. It is a pity that no one will ever recognize it as yours. May the darkness claim thee, crawling chaos and damned beast. No longer will thy reign be kept over the ancients you have kept imprisoned. Thou hast seen the last of this world.
Now that's just a very poor temple design if you're getting people to build it for you.
Even these
All
mythical
right.
fables can keep me amused. There has to be something to do around here. I only wish something that fantastic and of higher purpose could happen to me.
There's a reason I don't like Elia. She's my least favorite character. Mainly it's because of her personality. You were just reading a book about gods being cast into the mortal realm by mere mortals and magic and crap, and she's just like, ugh, who cares? But yeah, what was I saying? The Eternal Tome of Eternal Darkness. If you notice the way she was reading it just there, she actually, also, seriously, you didn't see that? She was reading it, and it looked like she was reading near the beginning of the book. And the way it seems to me the tome works is that I sort of think of that the whole thing's completely filled up and written. It's just whenever history happens, it automatically updates. And so, how long ago was Mantarok sealed? Because, yes, I know. I've played this game. Oh, shit. No! Stop! Stop! I don't actually even know if it's possible to kill them at this point. Fuck. Ah! Alright, that was just me being crappy at this game. Alright, time to remember what buttons I assigned these to. Nope. No. Well, I'm going to end the episode here while I figure out what button I needed to, push to, turn the candle off. See you in the next episode. And welcome back to the series. I think this is part 3. I found out what button to push. Control. I may call the developers of this game lazy occasionally, but honestly, sometimes the amount of effort they put into this game is spectacular. Like, it may have been the same model, just stretched over 3 different sides of the object, but they had torches in that room where each individual section was carved and just sort of engraved. I mean, I wouldn't ever think to engrave torches in a video game. And it's stuff like that. A very fine detail that you would notice that makes this game. Oh, yeah. Game gets a little bit faster if you know a few of the tricks. But also if you rush, actually, one time when I was playing this stage, something sort of funny happened to me. I was playing it, and at one point, when you fall through the trap door, I started walking into the trap hallway, and I was just sprinting. I was trying to get through the level quickly. I was doing a playthrough so I could get to the Mantarok room, and oh yeah, no, it's in the last corridor. And I got stuck between two of those that were very close to each other, and I actually got caught in an infinite loop of continually resetting the trap and then stepping into it. And so I just watched for like 10 seconds as she got torn to pieces by this thing. Oh, yeah, by the way, if they're on the ground, I figure it would be easy enough to slash at someone's head, so just so things don't take forever to kill. I know I'm going against my own rules in episode 3, but smash. But yeah, that was annoying because I hadn't saved yet, and so it took a while. Looking at the blood dripping down the walls, I have tried several times to get this effect to happen for me, but apparently when you strike the walls, they're supposed to bleed more, and it's... See, I don't know if that's actually bleeding more or if that was just already happening. Or, yeah, but if that's the case and that's really what they programmed, that is clever. Yeah, that is definitely the defining feature of this game. Just, yeah, the game that invented the sanity bar. And you broke both your legs. And your neck. And you just landed on your sword. Also, notice how it's in 2 parts right now? That becomes very important later.
Secret passage in the temple.
Oh, she's good at ventriloquism, or whatever they call holding a dummy on your hand and speaking without moving your mouth. No, get back here, you... Aha! I shall... at you. Oh, fuck. Ah. Ow. Nope, you get away from him. Yeah, here? Alright. The main reason why I say, how long ago was Mantrock sealed? Because there's still guards actively patrolling this place. Is that necessary if you've got the dude, well, the god, completely encased in magical stone? I don't know. Oh yeah. That sound you hear right now used to kill me whenever I heard it. That and the weird nyahi sounds. They were the most terrifying things when I played this game when I was 5. They would... Yeah. It was not okay when I was playing this game. Yeah. Sound effects are definitely one of the most important parts of any media. I want a mask like that. That's badass looking. Can you enchant it? Resumes his duty. He's standing next to a stone wall at the end of a very long tunnel of traps. What duty? No one's coming down here. Well, maybe. Yeah. I know there is later, but is there any actual way of getting out of this temple? Like these lower portions at this point in time? Because I don't see a way out. And it's slightly worrying. It's probably just some hidden passageway in the walls. That hallway looks a lot grander than the one I just left. I don't know. Yeah. One of the worst things about not using magic is that I will not be allowed to cast a magic pool, which means I won't be able to regenerate my stamina, which is sort of like a hidden bar for how long you can run or how much you can swing your sword wildly like this. And so there's going to definitely be points at some part of this playthrough where it's just me cowering in a corner, trying to catch my breath. I love the detail here. So wait, was Mantrock once on the surface? I don't know. Who cares? Yeah, see, things like these little wall insets, they may be copied from one to another, but there is an incredible amount of detail put into them. But now that I think of it, it's probably just like a picture that they took, that they pasted onto there. Oh yeah, the trap that I was describing, the infinite death trap, was right there. And I got stuck between the two of them, and I may not be affected as much nowadays by this game, but if there's one thing that will always terrify me, is the game over screen when you die in this game, and it's got that creepy ass skull just staring and smiling at you. I cannot deal with that. I will actually completely quit the game. I will force quit it so I don't have to look at it. So yeah, let's hope I never die, otherwise that's gonna make for a very oddly truncated episode. I never noticed it as much, but I like looking at these little paintings on the wall. Because in that one right there, I know it obviously wouldn't be, but it looked like there was a frickin' a guy carrying musket in that painting on the wall. Oh, I could get some sanity back from these guys. Hiya! No, don't do that. I want to get my sanity back. Alright. Actually, I'm just gonna leave him behind. So yeah, obviously, it happened a while ago that Pius went and took out Mantarok, and so I have no idea why they're still hanging around here. I guess it could just be Pius's sect, just like, you know, keeping active watch, but it doesn't seem like that much of a problem. Wow, that skeleton on the top left there looks like he's having a good time. It's like going down the Mantarok slide. Huh, I never really knew that you could look at these. Left panel's just a sort of messed up version of the right panel. And a flipped panel. Yeah, see, when I said this game is good but they got lazy in some parts, that's what I'm talking about. Just like, you guys just flipped those assets. Very scary times. Can I skip this? Please. No. Alright, I'll watch it.
Stop. Don't go near it.
Jeez.
So, you are reduced to feeding on flesh and bone.
Actually thinking about that. I'll talk about it after the cutscene.
The mighty have fallen. You shall fester for millennia to come. A slow and torturous fate for thee. You had best leave, young fool, or you will find yourself as food for the dead god.
How does his digestive tract work? Mantaroks. Pius didn't hear that? I mean, he may be cool, but I mean, that's like a pretty big indication that something just happened.
One of the chosen many, flesh and blood. It is now your destiny to fight the eternal darkness.
But I want to take a nap.
I give you a gift in return for an obligation. The gift is your life, sweet dancer. The obligation is this. You hold one of Mantarok's hearts.
One of
The
them?
essence of the corpse god. To some it is a source of great power. From those people, you must defend it. unless they use it to destroy what little brightness your world has left in it. Guard it well.
So why doesn't she become a lich right here? Because she just touched an essence. Maybe it's because it's Mantrox and it's degraded. Alright, equip this. And let's go. How's my health? Okay, good. Yeah, one part of Eternal Darkness that, you know, I can freely admit was bad. There's far too much backtracking in this game. I mean, just the amount of times you just go back through previous levels or whatever in this game is obscene. Okay, everyone, follow me. Oh, wait, hey, I did not get close enough for that to happen. Thinking about all the... going back to a comment I had earlier, I would really like to see an HD remake of this game. This is one that really deserves it. Like, this game is so hampered. How? There are certain corridors in this temple that you can just sprint through. Fuck! There are certain corridors in this temple that you can just sprint through. That isn't one of them. And I know I said, no magic, but... fuck it, it's an amulet, it doesn't count. Also, I haven't saved, and so I don't want to replay this. Oh. I can stop here, they're not gonna come through the doorway. Alright, and now an end to a very short level. It actually would have been interesting if you could have come back to, Huh. I've never heard that sound before, or her saying that. By the way, who is this person on the dais, the, many-armed female goddess? Is it? I don't know. Oh god, I actually have to end the episode. See you in the next episode.
Fool! You should have run.
Welcome to the next episode.
Die. Where is the essence of Mantarok?
I don't know. I only had like 2 lines recorded in this entire game. Where is it? I will not ask again, child.